So Lego sent me a big old box of dots and asked me to use them to turn a boring household item into something a bit more fun. And I accepted the Lego group's challenge and decided to make this boring old table into something way cooler. So let me show you how I did it. Lego was kind enough to send me some of the 2023 wave of Lego dot sets, which are pretty rad, and they also sent me a bunch of miscellaneous dots pieces as well. Wow, there's so many dots. Thanks Lego, you're the best. I've always loved dots as a theme. You can see that from the many other reviews I've done on dot sets on this channel. Some of the really unique pieces like the wristbands, the adhesive patches, and all sorts of stuff make for such unique and awesome creative possibilities. Plus all the like quarter tiles and the other unique elements that you get in these sets. They're just brilliant pieces, and they allow for all sorts of cool creative possibilities when you make mocks. I just feel like this theme embodies the core ideas of Lego, like play and creativity. It just does it well. It's just a really fun, awesome theme. Anyway, how did I use these to make this table look way cooler? Well, I'll show you. But let's take one last look at the pretty pile of dots pieces. So pretty. Anyway, I decided to use the adhesive patches that Lego sent me, and I planned to stick them onto the top and bottom surfaces of the table. But before I did any actual sticking to anything, I decided to map out the rough area to ensure that they'd actually fit onto the surface. I used basic Lego bricks to hold everything together so that they weren't moving around, and that when I was trying to see if they'd stick to places, it all kind of made sense, and I could visually see the maths of everything. Now the maths worked great on the top layer of the table, but not so much on the bottom layer. So the metal legs kind of got in the way, so for everything to actually fit, I needed 4 of these 1-stud gaps in between some of these adhesive patches, and then that way everything would fit. I was kind of not super excited about this. I was hoping it would just be perfect and the maths would work. So I decided to turn this obstacle into an opportunity and worked it into the actual design itself. So I used some of these curved tiles, and I thought I could maybe cover up this part here just by placing these pieces in between that gap, and then you'd never even see it. Perfect. So with all the maths figured out, I stuck down all the adhesive patches onto the top and bottom of the table, and then added some plates onto the top layer just to lock everything in place and to make sure there was a nice solid color over the whole top surface there. And now I could start decorating the surface with the dots pieces. The best part. I began by filling in those gaps with a kind of nice pattern here, and I think it actually looked pretty good. I was quite happy with how this turned out. I then had the idea of creating a sort of grid with these black tiles to sort of mimic almost like picture frames, and then within these rectangles I could build sort of pictures of sorts. This way I had kind of the fun mini challenge of needing to build things within these smaller rectangle spaces and letting that sort of fuel my imagination working within those restraints. But we'd save that for later. Let's tackle the top first. So when designing this, I kind of was just playing with pieces. I didn't really come in with any sort of major plan or overall idea. I really just wanted to go where the pieces took me, just feel it, go with the flow, and kind of just, let creativity guide me. And doing so, I ended up with this interesting kind of like bubble pattern of sorts. And then I also kind of got this weird kind of green gradient going on. And I really liked how it looked. And I thought, hey, let's maybe continue this more. And why not? Let's add some weird, funky, swirly patterns as well. It seemed appropriate. Had a bunch of these curvy tiles laying around. May as well put them to good use. So I continued the gradient aesthetic, but changed up some of the different colors and had it sort of stemming from all the 4 corners of this table. It was kind of fun and surprisingly therapeutic to just place all these different pieces here and, have these sort of transition of colors here, and it just looks cool. So once that was done, I transitioned down to the lower levels and I played around with more kind of like abstract cubist style portraits like this one here, or I just went with some kind of weird unique patterns, played around with some fun colors, and once again, just kind of playing with pieces, following my impulses, and not saying no to ideas, just trusting whatever comes up, doing it, and hey, it works, All of that combined, I think I got some pretty good results. So yeah, here's the end result. It's a bit different, and I think it certainly makes the original boring table look way more interesting and unique. It was nice to add a bit of personality and fun to an otherwise pretty boring object. And also using the adhesive patches meant that everything was purist and by the book. Yeah. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this turned out, and I think I fulfilled the brief that Lego asked me to do, so that's also good. It was kind of just a fun exercise in playing with pieces and discovering kind of new cool color schemes, interesting patterns, and a nice reminder to trust my creative impulses and just have fun. One cool result was playing with the colors neon yellow, magenta, and dark azure. I got a really nice kind of almost like retro arcade vibe with these colors, and I think it could be fun to play with these again in some kind of arcade mock, maybe using this as like the pattern for like the floor, the carpet or something, or even just using it as the actual color scheme for the arcade itself. It's a really nice color scheme. So yeah, really fun exercise, great to come up with interesting results like that. And I don't know, I totally recommend doing something similar like this, playing with colors, experimenting with patterns and pieces, or heck, even revamping a boring piece of furniture like this with Lego Dots pieces, because it was really cool to do. So thanks again, Lego, and thank you for watching this video. Hope you very much enjoyed, hope you got a little bit inspired. Thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.